Okay. Sorry. Okay, so that's where all of the documents are for you, just so that you are aware of those. So moving on. All right, just some general registration items. For those of you that have been with us in the past, we used to do a session format. New this year and last year as well, we're doing weekly registration. So it is weekly versus session. So you do have to register for each individual week that you need. A good thing about this is if you have vacations or different things, or I know some families are doing a couple other camps with us throughout the summer, it kind of helps to pick and choose your schedule that's specific to you. The registration cutoff is every Tuesday at noon for the following week of camp. That's if there is space. So we do recommend registering earlier than later. The restrictions and guidelines are lifting, but once things really go to wait list, we're kind of stuck there until we're able to add more kids. So just be aware of that Tuesday noon deadline to add or drop. So if you know that you don't need a week, also just be conscious of that. That's the last time that you can get a credit or a refund on your card as well. So just a big thing to point out is that campers do not automatically enroll from one week to the next. You must register for each individual week that you need. So for those of you that have been with us in the past, again, there's no save the spot or the auto bill option. If you do go on wait list, I do encourage you to, as long as it's before that Tuesday date or date and time, make sure that when you are in the web store that you check out and you receive a receipt for $0. That will ensure that your child is on the wait list. If you don't check out of your cart, and it won't make you pay for anything, it'd be $0. But if you don't check out and finalize that purchase, it won't put you on the wait list. So just be aware of that, that's how we keep track of that. And then one last thing is to always just keep your receipts, and the tax ID is listed here for you. Receipts are always available on your web store account as well. So they go back to forever ago. So if you log in, you can always get them. But just so you know, we don't print out overall summaries. We don't provide statements as to how much you paid. So if you need that information when tax season rolls around, that's where you'll be able to get it. All right, so camper daily checklist. What should you bring every day? So we do prefer that they bring a backpack. As you know, a school-sized one is great with their labeled supplies. So we do ask for right now that each child brings markers, crayons, whatever they prefer, scissors, and a glue stick. We're still kind of at the point in all this COVID craziness that we don't really have shared supplies. So we're kind of still away from the days of kids picking and choosing markers and stuff out of our own bins. So if you can just provide, it doesn't have to be that many, just whatever they prefer. If you would like them to keep them here too, we can do that. We can put everything in a Ziploc bag or just keep their supplies here. That's fine as well. But just each camper needs to bring their own so that they're not sharing supplies at this time. All the campers should bring sunscreen as well. It is good, it is a good idea to apply it in the morning. Before you drop them off. So we as a staff are not allowed to assist with the actual application of the sunscreen. We can coach them through it and say, spray here, or rub it in your shoulders, or put it on your face. We can do that, but we can't actually physically help them with it. Spray sometimes is easier for the kids. It kind of depends on the bottle that you get, but just make sure that you do send them with sunscreen. And then there may be sometimes throughout the summer that camp staff might inform you of miscellaneous items to bring to camp. We'll go over their contact information at the end, but there are Youth One is one of the email, or is the main email, I guess, for our camp staff. So you might be receiving emails from that account, which is our camp staff. So we want the kids to be wearing comfy clothing and gym shoes or something they can run around in, or that you don't care if they get a little messy. We will be doing some water days. We'll go over swimming and all of that later. I know that's a hot topic right now, but we will definitely incorporate water days, whether we swim or not. And we'd let you know when those days are, whether you want to change or want to send a change of clothes, or if you want to bring or send them in a swimsuit, whatever it might be, which is fine. So we'll let you know of those days ahead of time, or maybe they'll do like sports week and a dress up day. So we'll keep you aware of what's going on with different themed days. Right now, masks are still required, especially for kids under 16. On that note, our staff will be wearing them as well, and I'll go over that a little in detail later. But we do ask if you can provide maybe 1 or 2 extra masks for them to keep in their backpacks. Sometimes they break or they might lose them or whatever the case may be. So just if you can put a couple of extra in their backpacks. A water bottle, and just if you can label it with their first and last name. So right now, all of our water fountains at the facilities, we're not allowed to use them. So they are actually wrapped up and we're not allowed to use them. But we do have backup water bottles for all the kids, just little throwaway ones for them. But we do ask if you can pack one, and then we'll provide any water once they run out of their own water bottle. So don't worry, they're not gonna not have water, but just make sure to bring one, and then we'll provide water after that for them. Lunch and snacks. We'll go over that a little more in depth later, but of course, all of the kids need to bring a lunch, and then snacks we'll talk about later, if whatever section your child is registered for, if they need to bring snacks for that time of day. We'll go over that in a minute. Hat and or sunglasses are optional, of course, to wear outside. And just as a point for everybody, the Park District is not responsible for lost or stolen items. So in general, what to bring is here on this list. Any questions or anything? No? Okay. All right, so here we are, a little more in depth on lunches and snacks. So if you're in the 7:30 to 9, so if you're in those extended hours, sometimes we definitely understand mornings can be crazy and you're trying to get to work and trying to get your child to camp. You can definitely provide a light breakfast or a snack if you want your child to eat something here, that's fine. They can have that. All of the kids, whether they're a 7:30 drop off or a 9 o'clock drop off, please provide them with a morning snack. So they will have a snack sometime around 10:15, 10:30. At lunch will be around 11:45, I believe. Yes, 11:45. We really strongly encourage peanut-free snacks. Now we will have a separate peanut-free area for those that have severe allergies, and our cleaning procedures are great right now. So I know, there won't be any of that cross-contamination, but we do strongly encourage peanut-free, but without microwaves or refrigerators, I know that can be tricky sometimes, but just be aware of those things, and to also please provide utensils for whatever the kids might need. If your child is also in the aftercare portion, so the 3:30 to 6, please also provide another snack for that section of the day. And one other thing, just if you can please help educate your child on which food items are for each part of the day. We don't want them eating everything all at lunch or all at their morning snack time. So maybe you have little separate baggies or just label it differently per time frame. So all of the kids, whether they're there at 7:30 to 6, they're 9 to 12:30. The 9 to 12:30 kids will have lunch here. So just make sure that you send a lunch with those kids daily. Okay. And way back in the day, we did used to provide snacks. So if you have been in our programs before and are familiar with that, we no longer do that, one due to allergies and just preferences of kids not wanting what we provide. So that is why we do ask that parents provide these snacks as well as a lunch. Okay, good. Okay. All right, so drop off and pick up. So this will be new for everybody, whether you have been here or not. So this will kind of go over what rooms your children will be in all day. So before care, so that would be if you are enrolled in the 7:30 to 6. So before care would really run from 7:30 until about 8:55. So if you're dropping off at that time, again, this is all at Recplex, but you will drop off at courts 1 and 2. So you'll come into the Recplex, there's a ramp that goes on the side of the gym, and the front desk staff can assist with this as well. They can direct you where to go. But there's a ramp that leads to sliding gym doors. So what you'll do is you'll walk down there, the camp staff will sign in the campers, and then we have 2 courts that will be used for large motor activities, and then tables will be outside of the courts, right where you check in. So you'll check in there, as well as if the kids need to eat breakfast there, they can, or if they want to color or do other games at those tables, that's what that area will be for. So 7:30 to about 9-ish if you drop off at that time. If you are a 9 o'clock drop off, so here's kind of the breakdown of the room. So if kids entering K and 1, their drop-off room will be the kids club room. So that's on the main level here. And again, front desk staff can help direct where these rooms are. If your child is entering grades 2 and 3, that will be in the multi-purpose room. So that is upstairs. You can either walk up the stairs. There's also an elevator to access the upstairs as well. If your child is entering 4th grade or up, they will be in the preschool room, which is actually in the same hallway as the kids club room. So we will be doing a check-in table at the end of that hallway, and then camp staff will bring the kids to their room. So you'll see all of us there on the first day, and I know there's a lot of different rooms going on right now, but it will get more natural once we get into these procedures. So if you are a 9 to 12:30, so if you are a 12:30 pickup, since we will be eating lunch, our goal is to eat outside, eat lunch, eat snack outdoors as much as possible. So most likely, if you're a 12:30 pickup, those kids will be outside. Camp staff will be there with their binder to check kids out, and we'll go over IDs and things like that. But most likely that will be outdoors. If it's raining or horrible weather, just go to the assigned room of the grade that your child is in. And then aftercare, so that's for the 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock portion of the day. Entering K1 and 2 will be in the kids club room. Entering 3+ will be in the preschool room. So that's where the kids will be throughout the day. However, we do have other rooms. We have our outdoors. We have a playground on site. We have a playground in a grass area right outside of the Recplex that will be used throughout the day for other small group activities. So just take note of these rooms. So camp staff will do a lot of the walking the kids to and from and everything. So it looks like there's some questions on this. So go ahead.
Yes, we can help campers open things in their lunch boxes.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we'll definitely help them open those. If they have containers, we can help them with that.
And then can we use a reusable lunchbox, or does everything need to be disposable?
Good question. In the past, last year with COVID, they wanted disposable, but you can definitely bring reusable lunch boxes. That's totally fine with us. Yes. So before and after care, there will be groups that will be mixed, or I'm sorry, age groups that will be mixed for the before and after care portion. Yes.
Will kids be separated by grade or grade they are going into?
So each group, so these 3 groups are the large groups. There might be 30, 40 or so kids in a large group, but then camp staff is each assigned 10 or so kids that they'll break off into small groups. So they'll still be with that age group, but they won't be with 40 kids throughout the day. They might be with 10, 12 kids in their group, moving from activity to activity.
And it is based on grade they are going into?
Yes, the grade that they are entering, correct.
Where do kids get picked up at 4 p.m.?
We will go over that. Yeah, that should be right here. So this is for the pickup part. So at the time of pickup, this is whether you're a 6 o'clock, a 4 o'clock, or a 12:30 pickup. Please bring your ID each day. Even if you've gone through camp with us your whole life, we do, as you can see, have a lot of new camp staff, even returning. We really just want to get to know everybody. So they will be cross-referencing the authorized pickup list to the ID that you present. So at the time of registration, you had listed parents and guardians and authorized pickup. So we do have a chart of all that for every camper. So just please be patient as camp staff gets to know all of those that are authorized to pick up. You know, it will take some time for all of that, but we, of course, would never release a child to somebody that is not on the list. Just a note about the authorized pickups, they should also be available within 15 minutes, just in case there's an emergency or an illness and the camper needs to be picked up. If you have any questions on who is authorized for you, you can always email me and I can let you know, or if you want to add somebody, you can do that. We will have a parent message board that will kind of travel, so especially for that communication between the extended care staff and the day camp staff. If there's anything, of course, feel free to email myself or Demi or our youth account. but you can always handwrite something on the parent message board, and that will travel to the groups, so that if you have anything to let them know, maybe you're picking up, or maybe someone else is picking up that day, or you're picking up early, whatever the case may be, there will be a daily parent message board if you need any small notes on there. Maybe I don't remember about the 4 o'clock if I added a slide for that. So we'll just go over that. So for our 4 o'clock pickups, you will again go to their assigned rooms. Now we are going to try to be outside as well at that time. So if you see campers outside, feel free to just, find them outside. You'll be greeted by a staff member who will check your ID, and you can take them from there. Our goal, if possible, is to get the kids outside at 3:45, out in that front lawn area at Recplex. That way we can all be outside, parents can come up, we'll check IDs, and as much as we can be outdoors, we would like to be outdoors, except weather depending, which we never know here in Illinois what's going to happen. But for the most part, we will try to get the kids outside for that 4 o'clock pickup. I did get a couple emails and such about maybe your child has something else in the morning, they might be in summer school, whatever the case may be. If you are dropping off late, please call the camp phone, and I will provide the number at the end of this to see where the group is. We will go over our internal field trip layout that we have right now, but there could be a chance that the group might not be at Recplex, so just it's probably a good idea to save that camp cell phone number into your phone. You can call it, you can text it, which is really helpful. So we'll get into that later, but our goal is to have drop off, you'll definitely drop off inside, but our goal for pickup is to be outside for those 4 o'clock kids and those 12:30 kids. If you're a 6 o'clock pickup, you will definitely pick up indoors. If you see them on the playground, though, you can definitely grab them from outside, but it will be indoors for that 6 o'clock part. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so if you're in before and after care, how do your kids get to day camp? So if you drop off for before care into the gym, so what will happen is the extended care staff will have those kids clean up around 8:35, and then they will walk those kids to their designated rooms at 8:45, and then they will stay with those kids until 9 o'clock. So that will be that transfer for that part. If you do arrive late, just please go to the designated camp room. And then aftercare, so again, around 3:30, we'll clean everybody up. At 3:45, we'll divide the campers out. 3:45 kids will be with aftercare staff. We will divide the kids out, sorry, I just said that, from the 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock group. 6 o'clock pickups will go outside to eat their snack at 3:45. They'll do their activities from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So camp staff will do that transfer of bringing the kids to and from their rooms if they are in before and after care. Okay. All right, so just some COVID related items, staff cleaning and sanitation. So they've all been trained on our new procedures and when to clean, what to clean. Of course, we have custodial staff as well, but our staff is responsible for cleaning high touch points like the tables, chairs, doorknobs. So they'll be doing that throughout the day, as well as encouraging the kids to hand wash, hand sanitize throughout the day. If you're walking them into the building, there are hand sanitizing stations at each door, so just encourage them to use those when they walk in. So they'll definitely do that before and after they eat, before and after playing outside or playing with different toys. So the camp staff will just determine, as deemed necessary, when the campers should be, washing and cleaning their hands. Mask wearing, so, of course, the new guidelines just came out that if people are vaccinated, they don't have to wear their masks. That doesn't necessarily hold true for everybody. So because we are working with kids under 16, staff and children are required to wear them. So whether our staff is vaccinated or not, because they're working with kids, everybody does have to wear them. So I know sometimes those guidelines come out and they seem cut and dry, but they're a little more difficult sometimes to pick through than just what they flat out say. So the next point is our daily health checks. So if you've been with us previously, There are 2 questions that we would like you to acknowledge every day, and these are listed in both those documents that I showed you. So the first one says basically that they're symptom free, and the second one says that they haven't been exposed to a positive COVID patient. So in previous times, parents would have to fill that out every day and would have to answer no, no to both questions, and then the child would be let into camp. No longer do you have to fill out that form anymore, but we do ask that you think about it and that you acknowledge those questions every day. So those questions are in those 2 documents that I showed you. So 1, no symptoms, and 2, they haven't been exposed to a positive person. So please just make sure that you are being honest about it, and if they are showing signs of COVID, if your camper tests positive, if they're exposed to a positive patient, please contact me right away. Do not contact the camp staff themselves. You can call me, you can email me, and I will let you know of the next steps. But again, you don't have a physical form to fill out anymore, but on all of the doors and just as a, it's in our parent handbooks and everything, please acknowledge those 2 questions every day. And if your child is not feeling well, please do not send them to camp. If there is a positive case within camp, so HR gets involved, and we'll deal with that on another basis. But knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But that would be, we'd work with you individually if that were to happen. And limited toy use, what that really means is, yes, the kids are allowed to use toys. We're just kind of still not at the point where we can have a room and have it be a free-for-all where they can use whatever they want. We'll pick and choose what to take out daily. Of course, the kids can request what to play with. And it's more just that sanitizing piece. So instead of having all of the toys out, we do have to clean before and after. The kids have to wash their hands before and after. So it's just to limit what they're using for that cleaning piece.
Also required when the kids are outside?
Good question. Sorry. Yes. So when the kids are outside, not socially distanced, we do ask that they wear them. But for the most part, if they're outside, they can take their masks off. Staff will probably still be wearing theirs, especially when they're outside. But if kids are outside and they have that 3-foot distance from each other, then yes, they are allowed to take their masks off. Sorry, good question. So the Mount Prospect Park District strongly encourages the vaccine. I cannot legally say who has and who has not gotten it, but it is strongly encouraged. You can. We asked for maybe something hard surface like a book or something. Again, we are not responsible for lost or stolen items, but if they need a comfort toy or something, that's fine too, just for them to have in their backpack. That's okay. Good? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, they're monitoring, so they know the PowerPoint, and if there's a slide later, then we'll get to that. Okay. All right, so our camp groups. The CDC and the state guideline is 30 kids to 2 staff. So that's more large group based, but we'll have smaller groups based on that. So again, as you saw, we have 3 big age groups, and then there will be smaller groups within that larger group. So as the staff was going through who's where, they'll have a group of maybe 10 to 12 kids in their group that they'll go around and do the activities with. So that is what the state guideline states. So we are going based off of that. And then we already went over, so each group has their designated main meeting room, and then we also have different rooms that are assigned to each group for different activity areas. So when they break off into their small groups, so they're not going to be in the kids club room all day or the multi all day or the preschool room all day. Each group also has 2 other areas of this building that they're able to use, whether it's the outdoors, they have the playgrounds. We have so many little rooms here that are able to hold the kids. So they'll be traveling around. They will not be stuck in one room as they may have been in the past. So we do have all those rooms here for them to use. And we will try to keep the groups as consistent as possible. So just keep in mind that registration is weekly. So some people might come all 10 weeks. Some might come weeks 1, 3, 5, whatever it might be. They might come 1 through 5. So we will do our best to keep groups as consistent as we can. But with it being single week, you know, it is the parent's choice to register for what they want. So your group of 10 might be a little different week 2 because kids come and go as you register. So that's just something to keep in mind about those groups.
There was a question, will kids who are already friends be grouped together?
Yes, so we have completed week 1 groups already. If anything comes up while your child is here and they really want to be with somebody, just let us know. We can easily do that. I have been tracking the requests that I've received. So what we do is we add that into those additional information reports, hand that off to our camp staff, and then they make the groups. So if you have any special friend requests that you would like them to be together, you can just email me or the youth account and we will make sure that we get them together. But all of those that you have either written in your report already when you registered, or if you've emailed me about it, those are already taken care of and have been accommodated for. So yes, let us know if your kids want to be with somebody specific or multiple people. I think we had a couple groups that they had a group of 5 and that's half of our group ready, so that helped us out a little bit. So yes. Is that all right now? Okay. Okay. Behavior and medical. So, you know, just one big thing that we do want to point out is that we do understand that COVID has led to some unstructured times for these kids. So, you know, not that we're going to be 100% super flexible and let them just do whatever they want. But, you know, our goal is to continuously reteach the corrective behavior. So if they're, you know, it's been a long time since a lot of these kids have probably been in a social setting or, you know, even at school. I think it's still not 100% back to normal. So we do understand that things will take time, but we do have behavior procedures in place in the event of, you know, just repetitive behaviors that we might see. So we do have think sheets. Those are just for minor offenses. So that would be something that the child would sit with the counselor and just fill out a sheet. Maybe they're not listening to directions or running in a classroom and they should be walking. So little things just to sit and think about the action that they did and just to kind of take a little cool down. We've kind of gone away from the words timeout. We use the word cool down, and they might just need a little or a break from that group, fill out a sheet and get back to their activities. We're really going to be heavy on parent contact just to keep you informed if we're seeing any kinds of behaviors. And then we also have a demerit system. So the way that our demerit system works is that for the summer, we allow up to 3 demerits. So the first one is a warning. The second one is a 1-day suspension. The third one is removal from a program. Now, of course, if the first offense is something extremely bad, you know, we do have the right to remove children. Of course, I do not ever want to do that, but just to keep in mind that any major offenses, we do have things in writing that hopefully we don't have to get to that point, but anything like bullying, swearing, physical aggression would result in a demerit. And then on the medical side of things, so our staff is all in the process of becoming CPR certified. So that everyone will be. We do already have some staff that are, but we are training everybody. So some are already and some will get trained in the very near future. Our staff will provide basic first aid, Band-Aids, ice packs for any minor injuries. We also log everything, whether it's the smallest cut on their knee or their little bruise, whatever it is, we do log everything. Major injuries, again, knock on wood, nothing happens. Those will, of course, be dealt with based on what is needed. If your child needs medication while they're at the program, we do have a form called permission to dispense. So that we'd have to have you fill out before your child starts, just so that we have that handy. We will keep medication here on site. We'd put it in a little Ziploc bag with this form in it, and then if needed, we would provide the medication to them based on what, you know, the doses that you list on the form. If your child will have either an EpiPen or an inhaler here at camp, we also have a separate form for those. We do ask that we can keep those things here. However, if you only have one or so, what we'll do in that case is we'll keep it in the child's backpack, and the child will just have their backpack go with them to different activities, just so that they don't forget it on their way home from the day. So if that's something for your child, if they need one of those things, let me know. I can email you those forms. All of the groups will also have them. If you want to fill it out on the first day, you're more than welcome to, but I can always email them to you as well. And then at the time of registration, you also had listed if your child has any allergies or if they will be taking medication while they're here. So the camp groups have that binder with all of that information in it. Any behavior medical? No. Okay. All right. So field trips, swimming, and activities. We are still not going to do our big field trips where we go to different park districts, water parks, or we go to different arcades, things like that. This year, we are going to get out of Recflex. Last year, if you were on camp, we did not. What we will be doing is our internal, we call them internal outings. So with that, we have different places in Mount Prospect that we will be bringing the kids to, such as the art studio, the conservatory, our band shell, where we can have some in-house entertainment. We have a reptile guy that comes and does a little show for us. We have a magician that does a little show for us. Some of our fitness instructors might do mini little fitness classes for the kids. We want to get to our baseball and soccer fields and get to play on those. We're trying for the driving range. We'll see about that one, if that will work out with our campers. We're also going to bring in the Mount Prospect Police and Fire Department to visit us. And then another big goal of ours is to try to get to as many playgrounds in Mount Prospect as possible. So with that, we will be transporting the campers by our MPPD minibuses and vans. So our drivers have been or will all be van tested. They have to be 21 and older. We run everybody's license. They do get tested for that as well. So it's nothing that they need a CDL for. It's just a 14 passenger, but just so you are aware. And all of the seats have individual seat belts. Right now, as the guidelines state, unless the kids are in the same household, we do have to social distance them on a bus. That might be changing soon. We'll see, but you know, it could be 7 or so kids on a bus, and we're taking multiple trips to get the kids to and from. So that's where we are with our outings right now. Other activities will be pretty similar to regular camp. You know, a lot of outdoor time, walks if we can around this area, different crafts, games, science experiments, scavenger hunts, fitness and health activities. Just different things that to get the kids engaged and having fun. Camp staff will be creating themed weeks and calendars, which I'm actually going to share with you one right now on the screen of an example of what a calendar would look like. So real quick, it's right here.
Will also be printed out for you each week, and you can grab them on Monday morning when you drop off your camper.
Yes, we will have prints or copies of these for you. So this is an example, and this is actually week 1. So this will be started if your child is enrolled in next week. This is what an example calendar would look like. So you'll have all of this weekly that you can pick up. There's just some general notes on the left-hand side, and then the daily schedule of what we're doing on the right-hand side. So here, like for example, Friday, June 4th, wear your favorite Disney outfit, Disney shirt, whatever it might be. So of course, if your child doesn't have something, don't worry about it. It's just fun to get the kids involved. We ask staff if they have something to, you know, dress up as well. You know, here's Minnie and Mickey Mouse. Maybe they have a shirt or something from there, whatever it might be. So just keep an eye out for these calendars. Hopefully it gets the kids excited for what they will be doing in camp that day. So they will be making these weekly, but here is week 1 for everybody. Okay. Back to our PowerPoint. Okay, so group swimming. I'm sure everybody is aware at this time that Big Surf Pool is closed for the season. Many factors behind that. Meadows Pool is open. However, right now it is on a reservation system where people have to reserve their time. our goal is to try to get to Meadows if and when we can. There's still some social distancing rules with kids not in the same household swimming, so that is a little tricky for us to manage at this time. But as we're seeing, you know, we went to this bridge phase. Phase 5 might be pretty soon, so there is still a possibility of swimming at Meadows. It is still undecided at this time, but we are hopeful. But again, I don't want to make any guarantees right now. We will try, you know, if the reservation system maybe goes away and if it can be just open swim, you know, that would be a case where we could probably bring our campers there. So just keep an eye out for that stuff. We would love for the kids to go swimming. It's a great skill for them. The kids really enjoy it. So yes, you know, it's still TBD, but we will try. If your child is enrolled in private swim lessons, so you must email me, and there's my email again, with the exact swim lesson dates and times. A lot of you have been sending me the screenshot of the receipt, or you've been listing out the days and times, and that works really, really well. We just print them and give them to the camp staff. We put them in their binders so they know who's going to swim lessons at that time. The camp staff will walk the kids to the lesson, or they'll make sure that they get changed. They'll walk the kids to the lesson, and then they'll wait until they're with their instructor, and then they will bring them back to camp from the lesson. So just make sure you let us know what days and times you sign your kids up for those lessons. I'm sure you've seen in the brochure the amount of private swim lesson codes. So we as a camp staff will not be cross-referencing which kids are campers to those codes. There's hundreds of those codes plus all of our camp codes. So just please make sure that you either screenshot the receipt and send it to me. The receipt has the dates and the times on it. Or if you'd like to list it out as well in an email, that works too. So again, it's just parental responsibility to let us know about a swim lesson enrollment. Any swimming activity questions? Not yet, okay. Alrighty. Oh, okay. Oh, and faster than I thought. So camp staff contact information. So our camp directors are Claire and Emma that you had met in the beginning. Here is their email right here, youth1@mppd.org. So that is the general email box for all of camp right now. So if you have anything you want to let them know, feel free to email that. Here is also the camp cell phone number. I suggest using that one. It's definitely easier than the main line. Then you're not being transferred 100 times and trying to find what room your kids are in, and if they're outside, it would just be, sometimes it gets a little hard with being transferred so many times and trying to find what room your kids are in and whatnot. So you can call this number, you can text this number. Just make sure that you state who you are, who your child is. We don't have contacts. It's an iPhone. It's great. We don't have everyone's contact saved into there, but please use that. It will probably be your biggest help. But of course, if you can't reach that, you can either email or call myself. Christina or Demi's email is on there as well. And we'll be able to forward any messages that you need to our camp staff. So I believe, oh, that was the last slide. So, okay, we will go back and go through questions at this time.
If you have any more, you can send.
Yes, if you want to write them in the chat box, please feel free.
Yeah, one asking, oh gosh, my kids go to Fairview and their last day of school is Tuesday. If camp starts, will they be
If you are registered for that first week and your kids are still in school, email me and I will deal with the prorating for that. So school is definitely an exception. Now, we don't prorate for vacations because that's on the families, but school is definitely something that we would prorate for. So if your child is still in school on that first week, let me know. Please send me an email and I will take care of it, most likely tomorrow. But we'll credit your Park District account for the day or days that they're missing. I know all these schools are on different schedules. The reason why we're starting on June 1st is because our District 59 kids are actually done with school this week, Thursday. So they are eligible to start next week, Tuesday. Oh, the PowerPoint, yes. So I started the recording after our introductions. I honestly completely slipped my mind. Sorry about that. But yes, this can be emailed out. I will ask that they put it on the website as well. That's more of a marketing thing. But if you want this PowerPoint, you can email me and I will just email it directly to you. There were a couple people that weren't able to make it that I do have a running list for, and I will send it to them after this. So if you want to be included in that, please just let me know, even if it's tomorrow. We can definitely email that to you. Okay.
For water days, are kids changing there, or will there be staying in wet clothes? Some kids cannot change without assistance.
So with water days, we'll bring the kids to changing areas. So they will be able to change out of their wet clothes. We don't want them sitting in their wet clothes all day. Again, we can't necessarily assist the kids putting their clothes on and off, but we can help coach them through it. So we'll definitely make sure that their wet clothes come off. Maybe if you want to put like a plastic or bag in their backpack for their swimsuits, that might be a good idea, just so that their wet swimsuit isn't with everything else. But no, we'll definitely assist with the process. Again, it's just we can't physically help them put things on and off, but we will be there to help coach them through it. Okay.
I will send the camp cell in the chat. Sorry, I thought I was typing and I wasn't. But is early drop off a time range?
Oh. Good question. If you're early or late, you have really any time from 7:30 until 9 o'clock to drop off. And then same with aftercare, you have really any time 3:45 to 6 to pick up. So that's why yours will definitely be inside of the building, because that will be so staggered when people are coming and going. So you will come into the building, but you don't have to drop off right at 7:30, just whenever works for you. But staff will be here with our doors open at 7:30. Are there any other questions at this time? If there's something separate that you want to email me about, please feel free, or something that's maybe specific to your child, we can definitely do that as well. They're just running through the chat box just to make sure.
If you signed up for the drop off at 9 a.m., what is the earliest time you could drop them off?
I would say about 8:55. So our day camp staff will be getting here at 8:45. They'll need 10-15 minutes to set up what they need to set up, and then get ready for the check-in process. So if you're a 9 o'clock drop off, I would say like 8:55, we can start checking in. Oh, cancellation. So our cancellation policy is, so every Tuesday at noon for the following week of camp is the latest time to do it. So for example, I'm just taking out a calendar. You would have until, for example, Tuesday, June 1st to cancel for the week of June 7th. And then so on, you'd have until Tuesday, June 8th to cancel for the week of the 14th. So it's the Tuesday prior for the following week of camp. By noon. If you know ahead of time, please let us know. I do know some weeks are waitlisted already. So if you know ahead of time that you won't be needing a week of camp, let me know so I can get some kids in off the wait list. Yes, I will actually go to that slide. Okay, so here is this drop off and pickup slide for you. It'd probably be helpful. I don't know if this is in the document, the main document. Well, that's okay. We can type something up. So entering K1, well, I'll start back at the beginning. If you are a before care person, you'll drop off at the courts 1 and 2. Again, you'll walk down the ramp. Camp staff will sign the campers in there. They could either play in the gym or they can play at table activities. If you're a 9 o'clocker, entering K1 in the kids club room, entering 2-3, a multi-purpose room, entering 4+ in the preschool room, 12:30 pickup, most likely outdoors after they're eating lunch. 4 o'clock pickup, we will also try to be outside for you as well. And then if you're a 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock pickup, those would be the 2 rooms that you would go to. Entering K1-2 kids club, entering 3+ preschool. So I can leave this up too if you want to jot this down.
process to cancel? Can you do it through the web store?
Unfortunately, there is not an ability right now to do it through the web store. You can always send one of those contact us to do that. However, that doesn't go directly to me. So I would just email me and I will do it for you. That's probably the best way to do it. Or instead of going through the front desk, then they'll fill out paperwork, then it goes to me. Just email me. The best thing to do is to email the code that you need removed. If you want to send the code and the date, that would be great, that 5-digit code. And I'll be able to do that for you. That way I have the email documentation of when you sent it. Good question. Any other questions? I hope this was helpful for everybody. Again, you know, where last summer was a summer of just COVID, and now we're kind of in that limbo of we're still in COVID, but we definitely have more flexibility. Restrictions have lifted a ton since last summer. So we are very excited. Our camp staff, it's fun back in this building. They're all having a good time planning and, you know, just making some fun activities for the kids. We're really excited to have kids back in this building. You know, it's been a long time, and I know the kids will do great. It will be fun. I promise you they're in good hands. As you can see, we have a lot of great staff with us that I know are really excited for a fun summer. So if there are not any other questions, I think that will be the end of our meeting. Again, if anything else comes up, you have all of our emails and contacts. I'm sure you have an email from me somewhere in your inbox. Email is our best form of communication. So I appreciate you taking the time to read everything that we send out. So, okay, if there's anything else, let us know. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your night, and we'll see the kids next week. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, staff, please stay on. Thank you. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, shoot. Oh, yes. More stop.